Remember the killer, the lyrical beats, I'm gon' murder ya. Up in you like a hernia, you suck, I'm just confirming it. And if you get offended, they clearly be talking about you. Get off the bandwagon, nigga, you swinging on dicks and get your brand accurate.
Yo, what up people, it's your boy ThaLiveKing coming at you with another video. And in this video I just want to talk about my thoughts on the whole sim versus arcade debate when it comes to video games in general, sports video games, because I understand that people want the game to be as real as possible, but when you want either or, sim or arcade, to me, I think you're pretty much handicapping how you want your game to be. So you can have your game simulation, but I think a simulation game with arcade elements is pretty much needed. And I think a game with arcade elements needs sim elements. So it's just, to me, I think they just gotta find a balance between all of that, because at the end of the day, we want to be able to execute plays, we want to be able to force our style of play, and we all want to have fun with these games. My problem with NBA 2K is that the first thing I noticed that when I played my first game against the CPU was that the game was slow, it was muddy. I felt like my players couldn't even move just because, you know, they had to bump the defense up, so they didn't want the game to be offensive heavy. But what they need to do is to clean up that whole game is to just revamp the whole footwork in that game, because if you play the game, the footwork is terrible. And I'm not even talking about the sliding and stuff like that, because to be honest, it doesn't really bother me that much that there's sliding in basketball games. What bothers me is that, you know, a guy can't move a couple of feet because it feels that the player's feet are stuck with anvils on there. So when you pass the ball and the defense can't react quick enough, that's when you see the ball will go right to that defender, because there's no animation there to, you know, give him that speed to get that ball, if that makes sense. Like in NBA Live, they have it, but sometimes it's overpowered because the CPU would, you know, play like a receiver in football, and they would actually steal the ball. So there's stuff that NBA Live does well from a sim and arcade point of view that's good, but the way they have NBA 2K is like they just went full sim, and to me I think they're handcuffing the game. And some people say it's a skill gap, but at the same time, I feel that if my player can't move to get where he wants to go without, you know, some type of speed or acceleration, then you're just pretty much handicapping one user versus the other. Because if you're a sim guy playing an arcade guy, and the game plays the way it plays, it favors more towards the sim player, right? Whereas if you go into the park and you're a sim guy and you want to play against these arcade guys, you're pretty much gonna get schooled by the arcade players. But when it comes down to like the NBA product, I feel that, you know, there should be a balance between both. What I should say is that they kept some of the arcade elements just for the park alone, which is fine. But at the same time, when you're blowing somebody out and you want to throw the ball off the glass and you want to do all types of, like, you know, through the leg moves and, you know, just showboat, just to style on them, right? You should be able to do that, and you should be able to run them out the gym. And sometimes the way 2K is, you can't really do that because the gameplay is slow. With NBA Live, you can do that no problem. And I think that's where the difference is within the gameplay. You know, NBA Live still has issues with their play calling. If NBA Live had 2K smarts, I said this in a tweet, if NBA Live had 2K smarts, the game would be so good, because the way they have the real player motion in the game, you can actually dictate tempo. And it's just something that I feel people should focus on more rather than just being sim or arcade, because sim or arcade is, like I said, it's just handcuffing one user versus the other. I know there's some people out there that don't like to play smart, but that the game should punish them within the game. It shouldn't be because they don't know how to run a play, and why that's the reason why they can't score. Because if you watch a lot of Western Conference games, half of the time those guys don't even run plays anyway. They just go down the court. You have 1-2 guys at the 2-man action or whatever, and everyone else is just standing in the corner. So you should be able to dictate your pace and dictate your style of play onto the other, and whoever wins with their style of play should win the match. Right? That's pretty much how I see it. I know a lot of people don't agree with me because they feel that these games should have sim elements, but it's more about the tools than actual gameplay in a sense, because the problem I have with 2K is that you can't adjust on the fly the way you can in NBA Live. So if you have a guy killing you, say Kevin Durant is like killing you, you can't even stop him with your small forward, and you have another guy on the team that can probably slow him down, you gotta call a timeout just to do a simple matchup switch, or you gotta pause the game. Whereas in NBA Live, you can just hold down the D-pad and you can bring up that menu and you can just do the switch on the fly. So the next time they get the ball, that matchup will be set. And that's the thing I hate about 2K, is that they want you to use they limit you to the on the fly stuff compared to NBA Live. And when you call a timeout in 2K, that's where they have all the matchups and all that stuff. And again, like, there's just stuff like that that's a difference maker. You should be able to do all that stuff on the go. And yeah, that's pretty much my debate on that. I just feel that people got to stop worrying about sim or arcade. I think that the team should work on more pace and style of play. And if a guy wants to showboat and try to cross you up with stupid moves, not the too excessive ones that I've seen where the guy was doing backflips and stuff on the court, stuff like that should just stay in like the park and stuff like that. But you should be able to do, if you're up and you're on a breakaway, you should be able to style on teams if you want. That's just my opinion on it. Like I said, people won't agree with me on it, but like I said, at the end of the day, it's all about the tools and the pace on how you want to play. So I'm going to leave it at that. What's your stance on sim versus arcade? Just leave a comment down below. We'll have a conversation down there. And, if you haven't already, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video. All right? I'm out. Peace.
Here. For Charlotte, they've gone 4 of 7 to get things started here in the second half. Pass to Hernan Gomez. Now the pass to Monk. On the wing, Lamb. DeRozan defending, and stolen by Murray. Down low, here's Aldridge. And unable there to get the go-ahead bucket. And here is Lamb. Got it off in time. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. It's still anybody's game as we've reached the end of 3. Hornets lead by 1. We welcome you back to what has been a good one here as we get into the fourth quarter. Charlotte's gotten the three-point bug tonight. They've taken 15 shots outside the arc. They're 6 of 15. Parker and Monk, that's their backcourt. Hernan Gomez out there with Jeremy Lamb. And it's Biyombo at the 5, down low. So that's the Hornets' 5. Here's Murray up on top, covered by Parker. Murray kicks to Aldridge. Shoots over Biyombo. Aldridge can't get it to go.
trying to shoot his way out of this slump, but thus far, not working.
You know what? At some point, you have to decide. Do you keep pressing the issue, or do you focus on setting up others?
Now here's Lamb. DeRozan defending. Here's Hernan Gomez. Doesn't go that time. Good work defensively by Gay. Murray against Parker. Pass to Gay. Murray kicks to Aldridge. They set the pick. 6 to shoot to take the lead, and it's Murray laying it in. Murray's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Spurs. On the wing, Lamb. Passes it to Monk. Inside, it's tipped. Stolen by Gay. Jumps up and finished off by Gay.
Gay is a high-activity player, someone who is constantly moving his hands, being rewarded for his efforts.
Here's Parker. Drops one in from the wing.
Well, not the best look they can get, but at the end of the day, it's all about shot making.
San Antonio calls timeout. And during this timeout, I'm sure they'll be hydrating themselves. Kemba Walker comes in for Tony Parker. Pau Gasol is checked in for San Antonio. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, during the last break, I listened to Greg Popovich talk to his team. This is a close game, as you know, and he sounded extremely confident. He told the players, don't let up now, fellas. This is when we make our move. Right now. Kevin?
Thank you, David.
Clearly a foul.
At the line for your Hornets, shooting 2.
And the first one drops. That one falls, so he hits both of them. San Antonio leading. Aldridge a screen. And it's in there.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. Charlotte moving the ball around. Back to Walker. Now, here's Monk. DeRozan defending. Shot clock at 6. Monk, the pass to Hernan Gomez. And here's Walker outside. Gasol with the rebound. Gasol's got his third rebound on the night. To the inside. Out to DeRozan. Now the feed to Aldridge. And Aldridge slams it in.
I love the vision by DeMar DeRozan. He found the wide open teammate.
The shot by Monk is no good. Spurs leading by 5. Murray the pass to Gasol. Biyombo with the block. Dishes to Monk. For Murray. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
Not sure of the thought process on that one. Really bad shot selection.
Well, you're playing for the team, not just yourself. They needed much better execution that trip down the floor.
I'm not sure who was supposed to be on him that possession. I mean, apparently neither did the defenders.
Walker goes in. Biyombo. That falls. Nice feed that time from Walker.
How about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
Murray kicks to Aldridge. Over Hernan Gomez. A nice shot by Aldridge. Aldridge has got the lead up to 7 now for the Spurs.
When you have space like he did there, you never go with the fadeaway jump.
His spots, and you need that kind of patience and discipline to shoot as well as he had.
If he could only contribute like this for them every night, you can't overstate how much better it makes this team when he has a game like this. And on the road, no less. Batum wide open, he fires. Charlotte again missing.
Not a big threat from out there. You see why the defense backed off a little.
From deep, and the call will be against LaMarcus Aldridge. That is his first foul of the game.
When you look at his career attempts from three, DeRozan has really ramped up over the past couple of years.
Hornets trail by 10. Down low, got a piece of it. Gasol with the steal. 1:29 left in the fourth quarter. Here's Aldridge. Again, the Spurs good for two.
I'm thinking of bigs in this league. Not many have a better in-between game than Aldridge.
Biombo, the pass to Parker. Hits it from three-point range. Parker's got 5 points in the quarter.
The defense disrespecting his range. He goes ahead and buries it.
Mills with it, working on Walker. And Aldridge slams it in.
Guys, I think this is a game they have to feel good about as we wind through the final moments here in what looks to be a solid win for San Antonio.
This was a physical game.
Yeah, I mean, they were aware of the rotations defensively and were able to attack the rim.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And this is a great way for them to kick off this season series. 2 more games ahead, and they've taken the mental advantage with this win tonight.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Gay.
And how many times throughout the course of the evening did he make a momentum-changing play? I thought his relentlessness really keyed their success.
Good.
You get a chance to see the elite court vision there. Excellent pass.
So it's the Spurs now. And Mills kicks to Gasol. Outside DeRozan. And Mills atop the key. Back to DeRozan. Gasol, a screen on Parker. Here's DeRozan. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. And the Spurs lead by 13.
And just putting the finishing touches on this one, they have been on fire.
I mean, a fantastic run. The guys are really clicking, and the scoreboard reflects that.
And since halftime, they have been locked and loaded from beyond.
Yeah, forcing defenders to come out and guard them, which could open up driving lanes if they want to take advantage of that.
And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. They came in here and took care of business like they were the home team.
And Kevin, how about the mental toughness that this group showed? They were never rattled at all by the opposing fans.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
I got a confession. I possess the God particle. Lock me up for possession. Your relationship with God should be great for proper protection. If I am to show and prove, ain't no need to ask me no question. The segregation real, you should probably stay in your section.